Hey there, today I am back in my garden and I want to talk about some seeds that I'm going to plant today and some garden updates. The garden is very green right now. I would say this is pretty typical to not have a lot of color unless you have a lot of perennials, which I have a perennial bed behind me and I have been working on adding more perennials to my garden. Typically I have just this one bed, which I've been working on planting other types of perennials. I've planted some salvia, bee balm, and recently planted some yarrow and some more Shasta daisies, which are so pretty, blooming right here behind me now. So the garden feels very tropical right now. My banana trees, my banana plants are doing well. I would say it has not been as warm as it usually is here. It's been raining a lot. But anyway, I have a lot of green foliage in the garden, which looks really pretty. Everything looks really healthy, and I've got just a lot of things coming to life. So the annuals are on their way. The tropical plants, like the banana plants and the elephant ears, those are on their way. Those are, taking off. And I've got a couple more tropicals that I bought recently that I'll share those in a minute. So one thing I want to share before I get started with these cosmos that I'm going to plant today, a couple weeks ago I had, or a week ago I had these pots or planters that I needed to plant. So I went to the garden center and I bought some hibiscus, and I bought some, I think it is purslane or portulaca. I will put that on the screen. I planted up one of those planters with both of those just to see, what it looks like. Well, my neighbor's pressure washing, so I took a little break. So I want to show you what I got real quick, and then I'm going to plant some of these. These are botanical interest cosmos. I love cosmos. They're really pretty. They do really well. They're easy. You just sprinkle them on the ground, and let me see. I just kind of press them into the soil, to be honest. Sometimes I cover them up lightly. I do not think I'm going to do that today because we have a lot of rain, and I'm not going to plant all of these just in case they get kind of washed around. I've got the Cosmos Sensation Blend, and I've got the Cosmos Candy Stripe. I have planted these before. And these are probably my favorite, the Cosmos Brubenza. These are so pretty, especially in the fall. I planted these in the summer or into summer before, probably middle summer, so they were blooming in late summer to fall. And it says, let me see, bloom summer to frost. And I don't know, it doesn't say how many days these take to bloom. It probably does on their website. So I put that down, and now I'm going to plant probably these and these. These are going to be in front of the Johnny's Aurora zinnias that are in the back of this garden. I have nothing in the garden right here except a couple of calendula and some snapdragons that I planted last fall that made it all the way through probably early May. I cut them down really short. I do not know if they're going to die, but just in case their roots don't die and they come back, I cut them down really short. So I'm going to see what happens with that. So I finished planting those right here, the cosmos. There's some zinnias back there. This is more of my like perennial area. I have some dahlias and black-eyed Susans, and I have some ornamental grass in the very back, but it's really short. I also have some Echinacea, and those are getting ready to bloom. There's one right here. So this is the other side of my garden. If you are new, this is a little perennial bed in the works. Dahlias, some zinnias. I have a banana plant, another banana plant, more zinnias, and then these are volunteer Mexican sunflowers, which I'm going to plant some more of those, I think, in June. Everything is just looking really green. If you look at these, Mexican sunflowers are so pretty. The foliage on these is pretty, even if there were no flowers. I've got two little, let's see. I've got two hibiscus. Got one right here and one right here. I planted those recently. Here's what those look like. I think they're called fruit punch. Got those at Home Depot. Since it's already June, I'm trying to get everything just in the ground and planted, so I'll have some blooms hopefully by the end of June or early July. The dahlias are already blooming. I've got one right here. These are all from last year. Let me show you this one. It's a little pretty one. That's a floret from last year that I overwintered. Again, the banana plants. Second banana plant, and then my elephant ears, I replanted those. I planted those again from Costco this year. I have a video about that. I think I planted them in April or maybe March. I will try to link that as well. But anyway, the last thing to mention is, well, second to last thing, I've got all these zinnias right here. These are Johnny's zinnias, and you can see those are doing really well. I have some floret zinnias in the back. Some, I think, slugs may have eaten those, but they're still coming along. Okay, real quick, I want to show you two things. These are some dahlias that I planted from seed. This is a lupin. We're gonna say lupin. I've got several of those over here in a container, and I planted a lot of little baby seeds, yarrow, and like a Shasta daisies. That's what all of these are, and I think these are coming up too. I forgot to label it, but I'll be able to use the plant ID app once these get bigger. The other little thing, I planted one tomato plant. I don't really plant a lot of vegetables, but I just think these are so cute. I'm so happy to have these. I hope they do well for me. I do not have a lot of experience in this garden planting vegetables, but I just wanted to try at least one tomato variety. And over here on this side, I wanted to show you the banana plant, how it shoots up little, they call them pups at the base. So I've got a little pup right here and one right here. There's actually two more coming. There's three. So the other one is not doing that. I am not sure why. I hope that's not a bad sign. But the leaves still look green on both of them, so hopefully they will both do well. So that is all I have for today. As I said, the garden is coming along. It's very typical for it to be just very green, unless you have a lot of perennials that have already bloomed, which I'm still working on that. But anyway, I'm happy especially with the progress of this side of the garden and my perennial bed. So I have one bed over here that I will just kind of have to catch up in future months and future years to add more color to that side of the garden where it has something blooming in the spring and the early summer. But anyway, I've got my banana plants over here and dahlias and elephant ears. So I just really, really love this side of the garden. I like having the contrast. Anyway, so if you made it to the end, I post about 2 to 3 videos a month, usually around usually anywhere from Tuesday to Thursday. Typically, I recently shared a video in May of how my garden has transformed from just a play area in the backyard 6 years ago to what it looks like now. So if you want to check that out, I'll post that over here at the end. And again, if you made it to the end, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.